Okay, welcome back. It has been suggested that true democracy should promote responsibility and responsiveness in a given society. Governments in Western countries play a key role in the protection and promotion of economic and social well-being of its citizens. They all provide medical care, pensions, affordable housing, and mass transport in order to maintain productivity, national unity, and social peace. Subsequent governments in Nigeria have failed to deliver even the most basic needs to its citizens. Well, citizens, however, also have a responsibility to themselves as individuals and to the nation at large. Who is responsible for the growth and welfare of citizens in Nigeria? The government or individuals? Big question. It's your view, let it count. You can call us on 07080668014 or tweet to us at YourViewTVC. Oh, no tweets. Oh, but just tweet. We'll retweet, okay? Or visit our Facebook website, and that's Facebook.com/YourView on TVC, or send us an email at yourview@tvcontinental.tv. Okay.
The individual.
Who?
Quick.
Why?
Because I'm my own government. The government doesn't owe me anything. And I've known this from when I was a child. If I calculate how much we spend on diesel every month in my home, I was telling you the story of I bought water instead of fuel in a petrol station. Shouldn't that petrol station have been locked up? Because I went there and they apologized. Madam, we're sorry, whenever it rains, water goes into our petrol tank. The one with an eatery at Maryland bus stop, there's only one.
We know, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
They apologized and sold me, another batch of fuel that I didn't even want in my tank. But guess what? A few days after, my car wouldn't start at all.
Of course.
My car would run on water for almost 10 minutes towards home. And this happens at that station because when I put it on Facebook, everyone mentioned that petrol station. Wow. Nothing has been done about it. But security.
Your argument is that it is the individual.
Okay? Yeah, your own government.
Don't you think that it's partly because the government is not looking into or scrutinizing such petrol stations? That is why they're getting away with that.
Is there consumer protection in Nigeria? No.
Let me just quickly say this. You see, it is you are the architect of your own life, number one. But I would say that the duties are two-way. The government has a role to play, and then individuals too have role to play.
The government is not playing their own role. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that is very correct. But at the same time, individuals must take the bulls by the horn to make sure that they develop themselves. Otherwise, they will find out that they are nowhere at all.
An individual cannot construct a road.
No. That's why I said government has their own roles to play.
No, so you're saying that an individual must take the bull by the horn. I can't construct a road.
No, but
looking
the major
after
question,
oneself.
the major question right now is the individual interested? Does the individual understand the basics of good governance? Do they understand what good governance is?
That is where the problem is.
Okay, on this table, we have been shouting about Ojo. Has anything been done about her? Is it because of lack of interest?
Are you going to blame the individual or the government?
I'm not blaming. I'm saying, who is responsible for my life? I am. The government hasn't shown me that they're interested about me. I'm not secure on Nigerian roads. I'm not secure even in my home. I don't have power. Basic amenities that the government should provide. You must provide your own house, your own borehole, your own power and security. You are the one in charge of your life in Nigeria.
Do you have a different take on that?
Okay, she's on fire this morning. Now, there are two questions you asked. You said, who is responsible for growth and welfare of citizens? For growth, who is responsible? I am responsible for growth. But for the welfare of citizens, which is, I would put this strongly on our government. I would not say that I am responsible for myself and all that, because if there are no proper things that are put in place, there is no way I would now go and grow on my own. The hospitals are supposed to be there, the schools are supposed to be there, we're supposed to have good roads. Those things are not my duty. So I would not, in that context, I would not say that I am responsible for my growth. I would say that the government is responsible for growth. By the time they put all these things in place, if she's talking about a filling station, for instance, what is the role of DPR? What are they supposed to do?
Wisdom.
And who is DPR? DPR is government. So if we say that, okay, an individual, I would not put it in our community. it is the government's duty to provide certain things. Then on your own, you now choose whether you want to grow or not. But if those things are not there, there's no way that growth can happen.
I agree with you partially. But at the same time, I still stand on the fact that there are some things that the government should do. There are some things that the individuals should do. Look at it this way. There are no public schools. And that is why a lot of parents decide to take their children to private schools because they do not want their children to grow in a way they will not appreciate. So that's the kind of thing we are talking about. The government themselves, they are confused. We've just talked about the paper's review now. Saying one thing today, the next minute changing it to another one. How can you have 2 different or 3 different sects in the same school?
Well,
sorry, Sanzi. A child is born blank.
Very true.
A child is born blank. If you give birth to a Nigerian child in America, for instance, and you give birth to let's say they were identical twins, and you put one in America and you put one in Nigeria, what happens? There's a clear distinction because in those communities, they have decided to put the basic things on ground. But here we don't have it. So there's no way you can say that you cannot know the extent to which I'll be able to grow if those things are not available.
Well, you know, the question is, do we run a proper system of government?
There's
Do we
no
run a
system.
proper democratic system of government? Because I remember I read a quote where Abraham Lincoln said, to have a proper democratic system, you need to be responsible and responsive. What is the
Meaning
situation
that
in
the
Nigeria?
government should be responsible and the people should
Responsible,
be
exactly. So I'm
responsible.
asking, what is that situation in
In
Nigeria?
Nigeria, we used to have a responsible government.
Used to?
Yes.
Back when?
Because in the days of my father, he didn't have rich parents growing up in Gbongan in Osun State. My father was on scholarship to King's College. He went on scholarship to Unilag. He went on scholarship to London School of Economics. He trained me and said, read well, my daughter. The government will fund your education if you do well on merit. In my primary school level, I did well on merit. He didn't take me anywhere. I went to a private school. When I was getting out of private school, I already knew that, Jumoke, you're on your own. The government is not responsible for you. Why? Because the public schools were dilapidating every day. Corruption had come into place. People were siphoning money because our leaders suddenly ran out of moral ideas and logic and started stealing money. They had poverty mentality. You're a rich man. Why are you stealing 255 million naira? What for?
Sanzi, let me just give an insight into this. I agree with all that has been said. Any blind person, any deaf, any dumb would know that the system in Nigeria is not working at all in any way. No school, no road, no water, no anything, nothing. But at the same time, that we are not relenting. Individuals are making sure that they are moving ahead, they are moving forward, even with their families. But one thing is this: we individuals, we citizens, have not realized that the sovereignty of the leaders is really in our hands. We don't know where we belong.
Well, you see, in Nigeria, I'm sorry to cut you, but in Nigeria, we have this issue of always saying embezzlement and corruption is to blame. Now, I am a huge addict of international news. I watch it a lot. And then I get to see that a lot of things that we're actually complaining of in Nigeria happens in other countries, but still they grow.
But there are rules.
There are
penalties.
There are sanctions.
Yes.
You see, we
That's a Nigerian that committed murder in South Africa in 2011. It took all of 3 years, but he's getting
the sanction over it. Yes.
You see, in Nigeria, he would have gone scot-free.
You see, Jumoke, let me say something. Until we know, you see, if a child does not know the position he holds in a family, he will continue to misbehave. If you know where we are, if we know the value, the power that we citizenry we have, we'll be able to get up and fight for whatever we need to fight for.
What do you mean by fight?
What I mean by fight, making sure that the government does what is meant to be done.
How?
Number two.
We're talking, okay.
No. I'd like you to practicalize it for me.
Number two. You see, we need to sit down. We ourselves don't even like ourselves. There are so many things that will culminate into this one. We don't like ourselves. If you are doing something that is good, now I'll come and say, you keep talking about government. And then the third one is, if anybody is found guilty of anything, no sanction had ever been meted out to that person. And until that one is done, let there be a public sanctioning.
There has been
I
sanctions,
totally
but
disagree with her.
there's a selective sanction
Yes.
in our country. We
That's
know
They
we
picked
don't
El
know what I'm
Rufai. Now
saying.
hold on. In
That's
addition
what
to
I'm
what you're
saying.
saying, El Rufai was picked
El
by the
Rufai is still
SSS.
detained,
Asari
right?
Dokubo, he's been released. Asari Dokubo, has he been picked for all the things that he's
That
saying?
is why
They
it's
went
about
to
the
use the
same
presidential jet to pick him in Cameroon when he was arrested.
That
You're
is-
talking about sanctions.
Misplaced priority, misplaced preference, or whatever.
It's not
you-
misplaced. You see,
look,
Go
sorry,
on,
Sandra.
go on.
The government has a major role
to play.
I would not put it on an individual. My children, when they were born, they are innocent. They don't know jack. There was a day a policeman arrested us and he was trying to take bribe from us. My son was wondering that, Mom, what is this guy doing? What does he want? You know? So what will I say that it is that child that is responsible for
Okay,
his growth?
Owa, hold your thought. We have a call on the line. Hello?
Hello, good morning. This
Good
is
morning
Yakub
to
from
you.
Cameroon.
Yeah.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Yes, Yakub, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. What to do? You see, Jumoke is already said it all. That is why Jumoke is a very, very talented person. But because if Jumoke and Yade, I wonder, because when people analyze something, you are analyzing it passionately. Because the reason is this, as Jumoke is rightly saying, where are you carrying away huge amount of money, 250 something million? They are saving 500 billion. Who are you? Where do you carry all this money to? That is the question. And then the question is this. I keep saying it. Every time I will continue saying it. Until we emulate the system they are using in China, that is where...
Thank you.
If we don't emulate that system, we go nowhere. Because when they caught you as a corrupt, you will not go and die by yourself. If it is not even government is going to call you and kill you, you will know that wherever they caught you, you will not go and die before they caught you up. You go and fly into river. That is just because our system is not working. If the system is working, the police is working, and then EFCC is working. Can you imagine last time EFCC is telling us they are out of money or something in this country? Who are supposed to fight this corruption for us? No, because this government, they are not ready to do anything for us.
Okay. Let me.
Okay,
Can I jump in?
thank you very much,
No,
Yakub.
Jumo-
So in
Jumoke,
essence,
before
he is blaming the government.
Let me ask you some questions. Who are the people in government? Are they not Nigerians?
They are Nigerians.
Who are they ghosts? They
No,
are not ghosts.
they are
Who
from
these
amongst
people?
us.
They are from we have all contributed to the status we are today.
I agree.
And the more we are also going to bring ourselves out of this situation
I agree.
when we decide to.
When we're ready, when there's a
When-
revolution.
okay, yes.
Well,
when we decide to.
let's move this conversation to the judiciary arm of government. We're talking about sanctions and, you know, the proper law and decrees not carried out properly. What is the role of the judiciary in all of this?
Sandy.
Are they doing what they are meant to do?
See, Sanzi,
Yeah.
I was watching an interview recently concerning the national conference, and I just realized that the man was talking, and he said that because they only gave one slot, I think, for the lawyers, and he's saying that it is not supposed to be a legal meeting; it's supposed to be a political meeting, and all the while they have said that that conference is meant for what's it called, revamping Nigerians' constitution and ensuring that certain things begin to happen. So you're not asking me, do they even have the power? If the government decides that, except people begin to stand up for their rights, because if the government decide that they would not, change the situation, then we need to take laws in our hands and start to question their movement.
Can I jump?
Jumoke, hold your thought. Hold your thought for a second. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Sandra. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm cool, yeah.
Okay, please let's hear
I
your
just
view.
want to make this contribution. I love the topic you are discussing this morning. In a nutshell, you can say that without government playing their role, no human being, no individual can grow. It now boils down to our leaders. You see, I want these things to be heard in this coming conference. There should be a process whereby how we get our leaders. Not that people that just get money from anywhere becomes leaders. You know, immediately you get money, maybe duping people, killing people, stealing, you go and be buying this, people will not call you leader. There must be a process in the advanced country. There is this aristocrat, you know,
there's a process they've been following them up. There's an institution they will pass through that will have reorientate them. You see that they will now see money as nothing. They wouldn't see money, but they will see service to humanity as being a leader. You see, that's exactly, I want this thing to be hard. I don't know if possible it will be hard. The problem is just about leaders. There's our leaders, they are not looking at us. Especially we youth, we are just rotting away. I want to take my children out of this country because I don't see it being safe. So, but if we have leaders that have this mentality that they have to come and serve.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
But we must hold our leaders accountable, honestly. If you can't, because everybody in Nigeria will always look for the way out. Even me, I can decide to relocate from this country today. If everybody keeps relocating, when will the change happen? The government is responsible for the people, and we must make them realize that they are responsible and they should begin to do things.
I'm sorry, we can't have any more. We're out of time. Okay, government is to blame, according to you. Well, up next on Let's Talk, women are to blame for rights of women, right? We're looking at rights of women in marriage. That is up next on Let's Talk.